Welcome back to another Cal's Collects video. Yeah, I'm really excited for this because I went to the London card show for the very first time. That was a really cool experience. It's the first time I've ever been to a card show and I had a really good time. There were so many of you guys there. It was sick to meet everybody. I actually brought a bunch of trade cards I wanted to trade, but I just got too nervous. I didn't really know what I was doing, so I was there like, you know what, next time, I think there's gonna be another one in October. While I was over there, I also bought a lot of boxes as well, particularly for this channel. I'm taking ages to get this off, but I managed to get my hands on these Obsidian boxes. Now these bad boys I picked up for 360 quid each, which actually seems like an okay price. Not amazing. They certainly have gone up and now they've kind of found their like price range between 300 and 400. Some people are selling for 400. Yeah, these boxes are really cool, and the main thing I like about these are the designs. The designs on these boxes are, on these cards are really sick. And then not only that, but the players that come out of them are also really great. You get a lot of US men's and a lot of US women's, which is great obviously if you are from the US. From the UK, I'm not too bothered about them, although I do reckon that the US women's team, those cards will become very valuable, especially if you get like a good low numbered one. The problem is that there's so many high numbered ones, it's actually pretty insane. Like you can almost guarantee at least one in each pack. So as you can tell, when you open these as well, it's expensive because at the end of the day, you're paying 360 quid for 7 cards. Doing the math, that's sort of like 50 quid a card, which is quite literally insane. But you do have Yamal in here, Yamal in Spain and Yamal in Barcelona as well. So, you know, if you hit one of them, or there's some really special cards in here. I have not opened one of these before. Obviously I've seen them on Whatnot, but I'll just use this here. I don't even want to look, so I'm just gonna look you guys directly in the eye. And then, all right, so first up, the first card is, the other way around, but straight off the bat, it is Christian Pulisic. I told you guys, US men's, US women's, pretty much a banker. To be fair, Pulisic is a pretty nice one to get. This is 1 to 40, so we actually got a bookend one, which is really nice. I mean, if you're gonna get one, at least get it 1 of 40. Not a bad start, honestly. Like I said, in terms of US men's, it's probably the one you want to go for. Let's have another little look here. Oh, hold on, is this a case hit? Oh! Get a look at that. So this is the iridescent, right? And it's a case hit. That is sick. Look at that. The dragons thing. Oh, I've got to show the boys this one. They'll be gassed about that. The only downside that I have to say about these iridescent cards is they're not numbered, and you'd like them to be numbered. But yeah, number 1, Jude Bellingham. Damn, that looks really nice. I'd seen these pulled on breaks before, but yeah, they just don't come out that often. They're relatively rare. And so for it to be a Jude Bellingham as well, that is sick. Look at that, man. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see the reflections on the colors, but wonderfully designed card. This is what I was talking about the Obsidian boxes being just incredible designs. So, oi, what a start here, boys. Like, that is actually, that's a little bit worrying, that. Here we go. The class of 1999, it is US women's Joy Fawcett. I have to admit, women's cards, their autographs are infinitely better than the guys. This is 5 of 50, which is pretty great. I don't know. I mean, you guys tell me. I think the designs on these cards are just so cool. Let's have another look at the next one here. Oh, this one's chunky. Oh, you know what? I actually already have this card, but the patch that I have is a napkin. It's just all white, and so to get this one is slightly better, but it's exactly the same card. I think 39 of 99, Marcos Acuna. Leave that one there. So let's move on to the next one, and it's a chunky boy as well. Hold on a sec, I don't want to spoil it. FC Barcelona. Oh, Kubarsi here. Not a big fan of the text in the top left either. Like, it just looks, I don't know how to say it, just feels like it breaks design rules. And same with the font. Sorry, I'm talking about the font of this, by the way. The P, and then a small C, like for the initials, and then the full name. I don't know, it just looks, I think in terms of the design, and 191 of 199, definitely not a great card to get here. Don't love it. Probably my least favorite so far out of these ones. Let's move on. I think we have, what's that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 2 more. Let's take this one right here. It is Frankfurt Robin Koch. Oh, wow, this patch actually, what is that of? Hold on a sec. Galaxy Gear. Let's take a little look at the back. So it's 106 of 199. The enclosure is not from any specific game or event. You guys know my thoughts on that. I'm pretty sure I've said before. I really dislike it when the patches aren't like from a match or match one. It just kind of renders it a little bit useless. Or not useless, but just way less cool. Okay, we've got the last one here, which is a nucleus, and again, United States women's pop-up. We got Trinity Rodman, Sophia Wilson, and Mallory Swanson. Like I said, guys, these cards are pretty cool, the nucleus ones, but there's going to be a lot of value in them as to, oh, wait, we have another one? Have I counted this wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 cards per box. Have I got an 8? Oh, does that not count as a card? Is that what it is? Okay, right, well, we've got another one. I think I just saw who it was, so we'll just do that. Joe Scally from the United States. What did I say, guys? From all of these, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 8. 50% of them were US-based cards. Obviously, we got a couple of the women and a couple of the men. Joe Scally here, sorry, I didn't really show that one. 51 to 145. But yeah, I mean, look, if it wasn't for this card here, I'd probably be pretty disappointed with that box. But to get an iridescent, that is so sick. That's definitely getting sent off to ace grading. I want that bad boy graded ASAP. Let's open up another one here. I do wonder why they went so heavy on the US ones. Are they trying to appeal more to the US sports market, potentially? I mean, it would make a lot of sense. And also, they're kind of gearing up for the World Cup, which I think is pretty great. Because, trust me, when the World Cup happens, obviously with it being in the US, I think we're going to see a massive uptake in just card trading in general. The US market is so much bigger than here in the UK. So the more people that get into it over in the US, yeah, I think values of cards are going to skyrocket, and naturally US players are gonna go up, assuming they have a decent World Cup. I need to double check they qualified actually. I would imagine so though. I think I got it wrong, or I got it right. The cards were just a little bit upside down, just a little Panini special. All right, let's get into this. So first up, we have got on the top of this pile, boom. Oh, it's gold. Once again, Lily from the United States. Rookie card here. Is this gold? What number will that be? 10 of 10 bookend. The U.S. national women's team is gold standard. Leading the way is Johannes, an impressive midfield player who broke through for her first cap in 2024. Look at that. Let's hope that she goes on to have a good career, because this card will be a dime. There we are. Take a look at that. I'm telling you, like the colors, there's a blue one as well. I got like a Kolo Muani in the blue, and it just looks so good. Yeah, fingers crossed that these come out well. Hold on a second. Here we go. Oh my God. Nah, that is weird. Back to back. Lily, what are you doing? You've rocked up in this, and you've done that. I'm gonna put you next to each other. This one, sorry, nowhere near as good as this card in my opinion. Obviously, it's a patch. It's all white though. Like I said, there you go. It's 193 of 199. At least this one, I got the 10 of 10. She's number 11 though, that was close. So we almost got the number match. Here we go. Another women's one, Tracy Noonan. What a last name that is. Yeah, here we go, class of 1999, 69 of 149. Like I said, these class of 99, here we go as well. These ones are actually pretty sick. Here we go. All right, any danger of a non-US player? This is actually slightly worrying, and definitely I think a downside to the box is just the amount of US players that come out in this. But then there's some boxes, you know, I see people breaking the boxes and they won't get one for absolutely ages. So let's hope we get someone that isn't from the US. And we do, we get a rookie card. Nicolo Savona there from Juventus to 105 of 199. And actually, the patch isn't a napkin, just on the edge there. It's got a little something, which is always nice. So the trifecta cards. I don't love either of these two like patch designs. I prefer, like, for example, this one where it's got the auto at the bottom and then the patch up top. Yeah, I guess that's a personal preference. Camavinga here. Eruption card, the France one. What is that number to? That's number to 125. 85 of 125. Camavinga, I just think he's such a good player to watch play. There's certain players that, like, it's the same vibe with Wirtz as well. You just love watching him play. Right, I think we've got another patch here. Oh, solar swatches, Frankfurt. I could really do with a Ekatike card, you know. Obviously, he's got off to a flying start at Liverpool. 71 to 99, or at least at the time that I'm doing this. He's off to a flying start, so I hope that's continued. And last but not least, we have the funky feeling card. Oh, there you go. Hugo Ekitike. That is so weird that literally just happened. Yeah, no auto, just numbered to 120. That's funny. I actually quite like that there's some cards, same with like the nucleus ones. There's a couple others as well that have like a weird shape and a weird cutout, and I think that's fun. It's something different, isn't it? So yeah, so far, this is obviously the highlight from the first box. Here we've got a to 10 Lily. Other than that though, I don't think there's anything here that I want to really scream and shout about. A decent trifecta patch there. Let's move on to the last one here, and let's see how many American players we're going to end up with here. Pulisic there, but yeah, those women's ones, there's no point if you do get them and maybe you're not like a fan of the women's game or you don't watch women's sports. I do think it's worth holding on to them because the game is growing and it's growing rapidly. So it's honestly not the worst idea to sort of just hold on to them. I dare Panini to not give me a box of American people. Look, God bless America, all that nonsense, right? But like, come on, let's get some European blood in here. That sounds a bit strange. I hope that doesn't come across poorly. Anyways, let's go. Let's get started on the last box here. On the top here, it is Jimenez from AC Milan. Rookie card to 40, 33 to 40. Lovely card that. Again, just the designs. I'm not sure you're going to find too many better sets with better designs than this. Let's have a look. This is a bit of a fat one, a chunky one. Brahim Diaz. 38 of 199. Very nice. See, similar to the Matrix one, it's kind of flipped on its head, really. That's all they've done with this design. Patch at the bottom, auto at the top, and then flipped it for the other one. So yeah, we have that one. I'm not too sure. Any Real Madrid fans, let me know, like, what kind of happened to Diaz? I've seen him like get subbed on, I think, a few times recently, but for the most part, I want to know kind of what happened to him. I remember there being quite a lot of hype when he signed. People were excited. Oh, Ajax, God's trifecta napkin card. This has got to be the bottom of the bottom when it comes to a patch. Just 3 white patches. I mean, on an Ajax kit, it's always going to be, you're going to run a real high chance of that. You can just tell. Unless you get that middle bit, you're pretty much cooked. So yeah, we've got that. Again, to 99, just like that. All right, let's have another little look here. What we've got next. We couldn't go a box without the class of 99. I mean, look at that auto, though. That is actually such a good autograph. This is what I'm saying, guys. Unreal auto. Unreal auto. Lily's is great. Actually, no, it is. That one's really good as well. And then you just compare it to the men's, and you're like, I'm not too sure, really. We're probably going to have another American or two. This one feels heavy, by the way. Oh, God, one sec. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Endrick for Brazil. Solar swatches, 125. There we go. Brazil. And what's weird is a lot of the breaks that I'd seen, Brazil actually come out a lot. And this is our first Brazil card in three boxes. So yeah, that's actually kind of a bit of a surprise. But yeah, that's lovely. And the patch, I don't know if you can see it too well on the camera, but it's a little bit more exciting than just one color, just about. All right, let's move down here. I think we've got 2 more. Yeah, I feel like there's 2 more. We've got another patch here, Locatelli. Eruption to 50, actually, 18 to 50. This one's quite nice. Again, I just can't get behind the boring patches. It just, especially because, let me guess, it's not match worn. Yeah, not from any specific game or event. And last but not least, for the video, it's a funky designed one. It is, the GOAT. Man United fans, I know you're absolutely buzzing to see this. Wout Weghorst. Yeah, this guy was some player. Let's put it that way. All right, so there we have it, guys. That is it from 3 different boxes. Let's just do a relatively quick recap. Again, as to be expected, a lot of American players. Look, if you are an American collector, then I can promise you this set is absolutely ideal for you. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards of the lot. But yeah, overall, it's a pretty good one. There was no like mega hit except for, actually that's a lie, except for this bad boy right here. I mean, if you collect Jude Bellingham's, then this is going to be pretty sweet. And he's in an England kit as well, which always makes it nice, at least for me anyways. I'm not a Real Madrid fan. I'm absolutely not a Real Madrid fan. So we'll take him in an England kit. Look, guys, we'll wrap it up there. Those were the Obsidian box. Let me know, what do you think down below? Yeah, I think for me, the downside, obviously the patches don't get too exciting, but the iridescent card's really sick. So we'll leave it at that. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.